Hey love, welcome back to Awakened and Rising. I'm your host, Patty Ferreira, and today we're diving into a big question I know so many of you are asking yourselves. How do I actually know if I'm on the right path to the life I want to create, to my soul's highest trajectory? If you're anything like me or most of the high-achieving, heart-led women I work with, you have a vision. You have a big dream, a desire that keeps you up at night. You have a calling you can feel in your bones. And today we're going to be talking about what it could look like to track your progress. Sometimes it can feel a little foggy. You're putting in the work, you're staying intentional, and still you wonder, am I actually moving in the right direction? Is this working? Is this the aligned path or just another detour or delay in disguise? I get it. So I want to talk about what are the ways in which you can move forward. I had this experience recently as I was shopping for our new home. I came across the perfect little villa in the perfect resort community with the exact square footage and layout that fit my lifestyle. And the angelic bonus was it was a lakefront property, what I always wanted. I had even secretly written a waterfront on my list of things I wanted. I knew at that moment it was my place. I just felt it, and I fell deeply in love. So we began to, the typical process of making an offer. The owner wanted way above the original asking. The appraisal came in lower than the asking. The loan needed a bigger down payment because it was appraised lower than the sale price, and so on and so on. The amazing, perfect place that felt in alignment became a struggle with a lot of sacrifices. I was doing everything I could to stay neutral and detached, but I was in love, and I didn't want to see the signs. One day after another, conversation after conversation with my loan broker, everything became bad news, and the transaction was getting difficult. I finally surrendered for the first time. I said, God, if this is our home, may it be your will and not mine. Fortunately, the universe showed up on my behalf and created a scenario that was unattainable. And in this way, the conflicts, the hurdles, as we say, were how the universe had my back. The universe was showing me. Less than a week after that debacle, we found another property in the same neighborhood. This time the seller was eager, and it was a perfect sale price, and the appraisal came through quickly, and they were even hoping to help us with the closing. Subconsciously, I had set an energetic agreement around how I wanted to experience buying a home. I also said several times I do not want to end up house poor, where we have the house yet no funds to live and experience outings or getaways. All of this to say, the best way to ensure you are always on the right path is to get crystal clear around what matters most and trust that the universe will do its part to reorchestrate on your behalf. The ability to not only know deep down what you want is key. This is where strategy matters. Take intentional, measured steps towards creating that reality as efficiently and strategically as possible. Know what is most important to you, how you want to feel and experience something, more than getting stuck on other less relevant things. So today, I want to give you something tactical and tangible because the universe loves your energy and your prayers, but she also loves clarity and claiming what you want and commitment to what you want. We're talking about how to break down your desires and dreams into measurable indicators you can track without losing the magic and mystery of manifesting. You see, when I stated that I wanted the experience to be easy, and when I declared that I didn't want to be house poor, that was my claim to the process, and the universe gave me exactly that through the signs and through reorganizing me and guiding me to a space that met all those needs. So we're going to talk about how you can get really clear around what you desire. To do that, we're going to start with understanding the 3 big indicators that tell us whether we are on the right track or not. To get clarity on your alignment, we're going to look at 3 different types of indicators. First, the one most of us are familiar with is our KPIs, key performance indicators. These are your tangible results. If you're a business owner, for example, a KPR could be how many clients you desire, how much money you want to make in a certain amount of time, how many hours you're working versus how many hours you're resting, other milestones and goals you've set for this particular season or project. But I want to be very clear, performance alone does not equal alignment. These are just data points. They tell part of the story. Second, and one that's more commonly overlooked, are our KMIs. I call them key mindset indicators. This is your inner thoughts and emotional indicators. It is important to take inventory and ask yourself, as you're moving through your path, am I feeling more empowered in this experience? Is my self-talk more supportive or more critical? Am I moving from fear or am I moving from faith? Am I invalidating my progress because it doesn't look like someone else's? Or am I celebrating my unique path? These are all indications of moving into competition and comparison mindset, and these will derail you. A high-performing life with a low-performing mindset is a fast track to burnout and dissatisfaction. So we track your mindset. The inner and most inner thoughts make your outer experience. And finally, our third metric is one that most of the world doesn't even consider in a tangible way. But it's the one that makes or breaks where you land. These are your KFIs, key fulfillment indicators. This one's my favorite. Here's where we ask ourselves, am I lit up? Am I inspired in this process? Am I following what excites me, even in the small things? Am I spending time in alignment with what matters most to me? Do I feel connected, grateful, turned on by life? Is this energy rich? Here's the truth. Fulfillment is the compass. It's the vibration that magnetizes the life you want to create. I always tell my clients, follow what excites you, and the success and prosperity will definitely come. There is no way you can be authentically high vibing with excitement and not land in success with fulfillment. Now, even when you know what your metrics are, it's still easy to get lost. Knowing your indicators isn't enough on its own. We have to get clear on how to practically use them. The easiest way to start implementing your indicators is to pause at least once a week or even daily if you're in your growth season and check in with yourself. What KPIs did I hit? Which ones did I miss? Take a minute and write those down. Where am I making measurable progress? Where am I not? And then move on to what KMIs are you showing up? Am I thinking and believing like the version of me who already has what I desire? Do I take congruent action or am I sabotaging? What KFIs am I feeling? Where did I feel joy, flow, love, or meaning this week? You can journal these, voice memo them, drop them in a spreadsheet if you're A-type like that. Just track them. That is what matters. And then adjust based on where you see weak points. For example, if you're hitting KPIs but feel depleted, look at your KFIs. Are you compromising your joy for external results? If you're feeling passionate and fulfilled and lit up about what you're doing but not seeing results, maybe it's time to refine your strategy. This process isn't about judgment. It's about honest reflection and tapping into the sacred sweet spot where success, prosperity, and fulfillment meet. Alignment isn't a one and done. It's a practice. It requires continuous calibration. As you start to notice and measure your important indicators, it's magical to also keep an eye on your mindset. It's important not to let these metrics mean anything about who you are or your identity. Stay neutral, stay curious, and keep experimenting. One of the biggest things that will pull you out of alignment, even when you're doing all the right things, is invalidating this journey. Just because it doesn't look perfect or it's taking you a bit longer doesn't mean that it's not working. Another common source of derailment is high investment in disempowerment. Yes, we tend to be invested in disempowering ourselves. Are you constantly telling the story of how this is hard, how far behind you are, or the inconvenience of it all? That energy blocks your progress, and it's very disempowering. A third mindset collapse to look out for is a tendency to override excitement and curiosity. Your passion is the breadcrumb trail. When you numb it or ignore it, you lose the plot. I've heard women say, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to disappoint myself. Well, that definitely sets you up for lower results because everything is energy and your excitement will attract more of the same. Your watered down emotions will also attract watered down results. So to start putting these ideas into action, I want you to start by choosing 1 to 3 KPIs, KMIs, and KFIs that are relevant to your current project or season. Create a simple checklist and check it maybe on Friday mornings, or create a ritual for Sunday reflection. Look at your indicators, anchor your mindset daily, and adjust, calibrate as needed. Pick one thing you'll do every day to stay high vibe. Maybe it's a dance break, singing in the shower, a long walk, whatever. Whatever helps you connect to your essence and elevate your vibration, do it. Do it fast and always. It's the most important thing to remember. You are already on the path. You wouldn't be listening to this if you weren't. Now, you have a compass, you have a framework and a way to measure your alignment without losing the magic. You don't have to choose between success and satisfaction. You get to have both. And if you're ready to dive deeper, to create a plan that honors your energy, that honors your truth and your desires, join me in my Success Circle. It's a membership. It's super affordable, super powerful, and a great next step for women looking to create more of what you desire in your life. I'm going to drop the link in the notes below so you can check it out. Come be part of this experience with us. Until next time, keep rising. You're powerful beyond means, and your dreams, your life is closer than you think.